Well, it is October 24th and autumn has finally caught up with us. We're down to regular seasonal temperatures, and usually we get these temperatures about a month earlier than we did this year, but we are at 94% humidity at, I don't even know what temperature, like 18 degrees, and it's the middle of the day. So because of that, it's time to try to tarp this thing in so that we can get the humidity down and hopefully get some paint on. Minimize our rust starting, because there is a lot of rust starting on the deck now. So we're gonna have to blast it. We were gonna have to blast it anyway, but yeah, there's a lot of surface rust on all the work that we did. So we want to minimize that, and we especially want to minimize it inside. So Logan's gone to grab some tarps. We're gonna try to tarp in the sides. Well, sorry, we're gonna try to tarp in the back here, the door, as well as over top and down the one side, and hopefully that's enough, but we'll see. So we're tarping the back end because the southeast winds, which are the wet winds, they come in that way, and we're hoping that if we can tarp that off, that'll be enough to keep the condensation down, but we'll see. I'm Taryn, this is Logan, and this is Max. Our life rarely goes as planned, and this story is no different. But we are determined to rebuild our beautiful steel boat, even stronger than she was before. And we're bringing you along with us. While I waited for Logan to come back with stuff, I decided to work on some of the small jobs left to do on the boat. To come back with the tarps. So I just decided to kind of chip away at some of the places that we have rust in the cockpit here, and there's quite a few small places where it's just like the paint must not have adhered or something. Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like you can see here on the front of the track, there's all these spots all the way along here, but on the reverse side there's nothing, which, yeah, I don't know, I guess this is just the side that gets the weather more, but yeah, interesting. And then there's one spot down by the pedestal for the steering, and a few spots like where fittings go through the steel for lighting and engine controls and stuff. Looks like there's a few spots up near the companionway as well, and maybe some back near the drains, but yeah, so that's just another thing on the list. So it turns out Logan's not at the store buying tarps.
Perfect timing for the helicopter. I didn't make it very far and the car died, and I managed to get it restarted and limped it back here on 2 cylinders. I think this coil pack is done, and basically being a 4-cylinder engine, this pack fires 2 coils, or okay, 2 spark plugs. And so, yeah, I believe that's the problem. I don't know. I checked the timing belt, I looked in the cylinders, down the spark plug holes, it looks fine. So I don't think it's damaged at all. I smelled unburnt fuel, which is a pretty good sign that it's definitely not firing on 2 cylinders, but it's still injecting fuel. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what the specs are on these so I can test them properly and know for sure before I ordered one, because they're probably expensive, and then try and find one.
Sweet.
Woo.
Happy Monday.
Yep.
Luckily, as you guys know from our last day in the life video, we have bikes, so at least if the car breaks down, we can ride our bikes to some places. like work. Did you come to see what's going on? Yeah, you did. While we were waiting on car parts, we decided to work on another project. So we're working on the last redesign portion of the chain locker. So as you guys know, we pretty much redesigned how everything hardware-wise is going in the chain locker, and that includes the doors. And I say doors, we only had one door before, we're gonna have two. So we're in the process of figuring out how exactly those are gonna attach, as well as what the design is gonna be for those doors.
This was our old hinge design. Basically, this is the old decking plate there. It's still welded to it, I just cut them off. And these brackets are welded to the boat, and this is our hinge that comes up, and it used to go through a couple of, well here, it used to go through these two slots in the door. There and there. And it was a huge pain in the butt to line them up properly and to get them insulated from stainless to aluminum. So we basically had to have these special bushings and rubber pads between the washers, and it was not very good. So I'm thinking of taking this idea and just changing it up a little bit. So they used to actually be up underneath like that, and now I'm thinking about taking and welding them to the bottom of basically where the frame is, like right to the frame itself, and doing the same sort of thing, but we don't need them to be nearly as big. Yeah, so we just need this part of the arm to be shorter. And obviously this part of the arm needs to be shorter.
That was the theory, anyway.
Yeah, because it'll be different. Anyways, I'm gonna make up some templates. Hard time wrapping my brain around this.
You can't figure out what length that arm needs to be, that first section? Is that the main thing?
The main thing is it has to clear everything in behind here. Then it has to make the door open up and not hit this.
Ugh.
So it doesn't have to come up this high. It just has to come to here.
It has to come out that far, but not up that high.
And then there will be another one on top, so that when it comes up like this, so the problem I'm having is the further out I move it, the further in it's going to be on the door. So picture a flat, like that's going to attach to the door, right?
The top, yeah.
And it's going to be right in the middle of the door by the looks of it.
Yeah.
So when I go up like this, the door is going to hit the deck.
And we couldn't put hinges on the deck, I guess, hey? Instead of inside.
Well, we can weld hinges on the top. But then we have hinges welded to the top.
At the end of the world.
Just get some barn door style hinges and weld them here and here.
On both sides. Honestly, probably the easiest thing to do.
I mean,
it's already like pretty unusable space. It's not like they're going to be in the way.
yeah, if we can find some half decent hinges.
Yeah, stainless.
Stainless hinges. Okay, let's call that a failure.
Let's call that an experiment.
Okay, it's not a failure. It's a, what do you call it? A learning opportunity.
A learning experience.
No, Taryn definitely has the best idea on this one. And I think we're just gonna cut our losses on this and do it that way.
I think that's the easiest.
100% is the easiest. And this is why it's better to do this project together.
It's better to do the project together. Why? Because we problem solve together?
Well, we both have good ideas, and sometimes one of us has a bad idea that just can't see past it.
Hey man, sometimes you just gotta try things to figure out whether or not they're gonna work, and sometimes they just don't work. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. And as long as we don't... I was stuck on the fact of like seeing all these steel boats and stuff with hinges, the external hinges that hinged up, like the barn door style hinge. They were all bolted through, and I just couldn't get past that fact. And we're not bolting anything through, we'll just weld it on. Like,
Weld it on through the bolt holes.
yeah. Way easier.
And then we went back to the issue of the car. Logan found a coil pack laying around that had been used before, so it wasn't perfect, but he thought it would be good enough for a short fix.
Sounds like it.
Okay, let's see if this thing will run any better now.
Fingers crossed. There's no ticking.
No, that was the exhaust valve, or the exhaust gasket was loose.
Oh, and you fixed it?
Yeah. I just tightened it up. Still not running great. So I think we'll still need a coil pack, but
you can get it to where we need it to go now.
good enough.
Sweet.
Biggest test is...
Putting it in gear.
see?
Oh yeah, well the engine's shaking a lot. That's when you put it in gear? Oh yeah.
So the coil is no good, but it's better than the one I took out, so...
So it'll get us to Lordco to get the new coil.
Hopefully.
Have they called yet?
No, because it's Lordco.
Max has a kitty friend in the car right now. Can't get him on video. There he is. Hello, kitty. He went and said hi to Max. He's exploring. Max is, well, he doesn't seem to really care either way. This is his cousin Kitty. What are you doing? Just exploring?
She wasn't running very smoothly.
We're going to Qualicum in this, so jump in and let's go and get, switch vehicles out.
Okay.
And things just went from bad to worse.
The hood's probably getting hot because of shields off the top of the engine.
So that's what's making the plastic burning and smelling?
Either that or it's going to catch fire.
Cool. Awesome.
Kind of smells like it's going to catch fire, doesn't it?
Smells like plastic's on fire. Not on fire, but definitely getting hot. Yeah, it's getting worse.
Just check it.
Oh, it smells really bad. No smoke though. It smells a lot like burning plastic, but there's no smoke.
Yep, it's on fire.
Well, the car was on fire, so good thing we stopped. Logan just dumped both of our water bottles, splashing them up into the car to try to put the fire out. I just pulled everything out of the car. That was scary. What a day.
Hey, do you think one of you guys can come down to Madison and pick us up?
One of the big bonuses of living near Logan's family is we can just phone people to rescue us. So this is Logan's mom who has come to the rescue. Max, you can't get in the car, bud.
Hi, Max.
Max, come here. Come on, out. Thank you, Sheila. Look at this bugger.
Do you want to just open the door?
It's my seat now. No, it's not. Come
Well.
on.
And of course, as soon as Sheila picked us up, it started to downpour. So Logan was stuck fixing the car in the pouring rain. He borrowed his mom's car to go grab the part he had needed initially, fixed the car in the rain, and drove it back to the house without lighting it on fire again.
So, what's up?
It runs good now. It is cold and wet and rainy. I am soaked. Well, yesterday we didn't get a ton of boat work done, for obvious reasons. We had car issues. I finally fixed the car last night.
After it lit on fire.
It lit on fire, but basically it's got two coils for four cylinders. So when one coil burns out, two cylinders aren't firing, but the injectors still fire. So it was just filling the cylinders full of fuel going out through the exhaust, and the catalytic converter actually has like precious metals in it, and they react with fuel and they burn off the raw fuel so that it's not just going out to the atmosphere. I think that's basically, well, that's the basics of it anyway. So it had too much fuel to handle. It pretty much like melted the paint off the bottom of the car and started burning that. So it was glowing hot and the paint was dripping onto it and burning yesterday. So
Yay!
And like, if it was as easy as just unplugging the injector harness, which usually it is, like usually they're accessible and you can unplug them, we would have done that. But I tried to limp the car home without doing that because they weren't accessible. You had to pull off plastic covers and a bunch of stuff. Ooh, chestnut.
Yeah, okay, so what are we doing now?
So now we were going to get the other coil pack because they ordered two in, and we're just going to replace them both so that this doesn't happen again. Hopefully for however long we own the car. And then we have to go do all the running around that I was going to do yesterday, plus a bunch more that we're going to do now so that we can get paint on the boat.
Sweet, okay.
So it is going to be a day of running around.
So let's get going. So after Logan finished fixing the car last night in the rain, of course it was dry all day, and then the car breaks down and Logan's mom picks us up, and then it rained, like absolutely downpoured until this morning. So poor Logan had to fix the car in the rain, but he did it. So that's done, and now we have to go to Independent to get those tarps I was talking about yesterday that he couldn't get because he couldn't get the car there.
and we're gonna run and get paint suits and get all of our gear ready so that when we finally have a day that's dry enough and the humidity is low enough, we can paint the inside of the boat and get that done. Tarp 1, woo! It's day number 3 of trying to get the boat tarped in. So, as you guys saw, day number 1 was a gong show. So in the process of trying to get our list of errands done, we found even more things that we'd been putting off that we had completely forgotten that we had to do. So yesterday, the whole day, essentially, was running around town trying to get stuff done. And it was pouring rain, so it wasn't a very nice day to be working on the boat anyway. But today, we're gonna actually tarp in the back and finally get the tasks done that should not have taken 3 days, but ended up taking 3 days. After all of that frustration, it felt great to finally have that first tarp up and be making some progress. Next week we continue our winterizing, which, of course, involves even more hiccups and changes and decisions. And in a future video we will show you how those hinges ended up turning out. Thanks so much for watching, and an extra shout out to our patrons for sticking with us through all these projects. See you next week.